What kind of tile can you put on the wall or shower? Do you have to seal tile? How much extra tile should I buy for my project? What thin set is the best for my tile application? How hard is it to maintain natural stone? You have questions, we have answers. Welcome to the BELK Tile Podcast. How to style the bathroom, the backyard, the kitchen. How to improve your home style with tiles to make your home absolutely beautiful. Welcome to the BELK Tile Podcast. Here's your host, Mike Belk.
Happy Friday, everyone, and happy Friday, Mike.
Good morning, Abby, and yes, happy Friday.
Well, the kids are back to school, and I am ready for the break.
Oh, yes, it is that time of year, isn't it?
Yes, it seems like a mad rush right before school starts with shopping for clothes, school supplies, and so on.
I am glad I am past that part. Now it is just writing checks and paying college credit cards. So what will be the topic of conversation today?
I thought we would get into kitchen backsplashes.
Always a good topic and a popular one this time of year.
All right, Mike, let's jump into it. Designing a backsplash that actually feels like it belongs in your kitchen. I get this question all the time. Where do you even start? Do you pick a backsplash first, or is it cabinets and counters?
Yeah, that's always kind of funny, isn't it? Folks think there's just one right order, and honestly, I've seen it every which way. But what usually works best is pick your cabinets first, countertops second, then flooring, and finally the backsplash. The backsplash is like, the jewelry for your kitchen, sort of ties it all together at the end. But hey, nothing's set in stone. If a wild tile catches your eye early on, run with it. Just grab a sample first.
Exactly. I always tell clients, you've got to live with a few tile samples for a week, stare at them with your cabinets, your counters, under your actual kitchen lighting. Photos help too. Sometimes I'll have folks email me a snapshot of their space with their sample tiles thrown in. And it's wild how that one little detail can change your whole perspective. The camera picks up stuff your eye misses, or maybe that's just me. Sometimes I'm squinting and overanalyzing the lighting, Mike. You ever notice that?
All the time, Abby. Lighting's a whole topic in itself, but real quick, ask yourself, do you want your backsplash to be the star, or is it there to back up the counters or the cabinets? Like if you've got a crazy veined quartz slab, maybe let that shine and the backsplash blend in quietly. But if your kitchen's sort of tame, making the backsplash pop adds the drama.
Oh, I have the perfect example. I worked with a client last year. Super plain shaker cabinets, white countertop, really nothing fancy. We installed this metallic glass tile for the backsplash. The whole vibe changed. It caught the light, and suddenly the kitchen felt intentional and, dare I say, glamorous. It was like putting on that statement necklace. Everyone stops and stares. That's the impact of going bold. But sometimes you want things to just flow and let, your grandma's china or the countertop do the talking. It's just about deciding what your star is.
Totally. And look, even after all these years, I still ask people, what's got to stand out in this room? It's the same sort of question we get for fireplace surrounds or remember that shower floors episode. Sometimes safety's the star, sometimes it's the style. Just depends on what you value most. All right, since we're on the subject of making things pop or blend, let's talk product choices. I swear the number of options now is staggering. Glass, stone, metal, porcelain. Abby, do you have a favorite, or is it all about the space?
You know me, I'm always mixing it up, sometimes literally. Size matters too. Traditional kitchens, I tend to lean towards a 4x4 or, for some texture, a nice mosaic. More modern, sometimes we go big, those large format subway tiles, or even something linear like 2x12s. But I love using glass or metal as accents if the client's up for it. And can we finally bust the myth that glass tile is going out of style? If it fits the home's vibe, it works. Classic glass still feels fresh, especially if you play with shape or color.
Right? I get asked that by like every third customer, is glass just a fad? But look, technology's taken off. Glass these days comes in every texture, frosted, clear, colored, you name it. It's not going anywhere. I will say, if your tile doesn't have a bullnose finish, that's where people get tripped up. Some tiles, especially natural stone, just don't come with trim, so you got to get creative, maybe a pencil molding or a sleek metal edge. A lot of choices there too, so it still looks finished.
And can I just point out, you do not need the backsplash to match the floors to make it work. But, true story, I had this one client dead set on using the exact same porcelain tile from their floor for their backsplash. I was skeptical at first, Mike, not gonna lie, but with a metallic liner added for contrast, it all came together. The effect was super cohesive but not boring. Sometimes repeating a material adds that custom designer touch. but you gotta tweak it a little, add an accent so it doesn't get too matchy-matchy.
Yeah, I had a guy a while back who did the same. At first I thought, this might be a bit much, but it turned out great, especially after we threw in a band of glass. It just proves there's no one right answer. With tile, experimenting's half the fun. And always get samples and see them in the actual light of your kitchen before you go all in.
Let's get a little practical for a second. You want a beautiful backsplash, but you also want one that's not a royal pain to clean or maintain. So what should people look for if easy care is a priority?
Oh, easy. Glazed porcelain or ceramic is your best pal here. Super smooth, doesn't need sealing. If you do like natural stone, travertine, marble, whatever, just know you'll need to seal it every now and then, but honestly, not that big of a deal if you're on top of it. Glass, easiest cleanup ever. A little spray and a wipe and you're done. But here's what I always push. Newer grouts like urethane or epoxy, total game changer. They don't need sealing, they're pretty much maintenance-free, and they resist mold and stains like crazy.
That newer grouts thing, it's a revelation, not gonna lie. Makes life so much easier, especially in a kitchen with spaghetti sauce flying around. And when it comes to install, big debate, Mike. Grout or caulk at the counter and cabinet edge?
Use caulk, always. Grout will crack and fall out over time where the tile meets a moving surface like the countertop or cabinets. Most grouts have a matching caulk, so you still get a seamless look. And transitions are important. Don't forget your finishing pieces, bullnose or metal edges, otherwise the whole thing just looks unfinished.
And just to toss in some real numbers, the range on a backsplash install is wild. A straightforward ceramic 4x4 job, you might be out just a few $100. But last month, I did a custom glass and metal mosaic for a client, little under cabinet lighting, and let's just say that one got closer to a few thousand. It's all about the materials, how complicated you want to go, and I mean, even a simple job deserves some finishing flair. If you budget for one wow moment, even a small kitchen gets special.
Since you brought up that under cabinet lighting, let's get into lighting. You can have the prettiest backsplash in the world, but if it's living in the shadows, what's the point? Proper lighting makes every color and detail pop, especially glass or metallic finishes.
Oh, absolutely. And you want to think about more than just, can I see my coffee pot? Try under cabinet strips or puck lights to avoid that ugly shadow line across the tile. If you've got a feature wall or a super textured surface, it's like what we said a couple episodes ago with black tile. Lighting brings out every bit of depth and texture. Just a bit of warm white LED, think 2700K to 3000K, and you're gold. Too cool and things get harsh and starry.
Right, watch out for glare on glossy tile too. Sometimes matte finishes or even just diffused lighting solves that, but placement is huge. I always nudge people to get their lighting installed before they lock in a grout color or tile finish, just so you can actually see the real-life effect. And hey, integrate the fixtures smartly, hide those wires, and pick a fixture style that fits in, not one that looks like an afterthought bolted on top.
The seamless look is everything lately, especially with open layouts. Sometimes a little planning is all it takes. Tuck the wires, match your switch plates, plan those lighting runs before the tile goes up. When it all comes together, that's when kitchens start to feel high-end, even on a tight budget. And that's what we want for everyone tuning in.
Couldn't have said it better, Abby. Well, that about wraps up today's Backsplash Deep Dive. If you picked up something helpful or have more questions, there's always future episodes. Thanks, Abby. Always a pleasure chatting tile with you.
Thank you, Mike, and thanks to everyone listening. Go try some samples, play with lighting, and we'll catch you next episode on BELK Tile Talk. Take care.
See you soon, Abby. Take care, everyone.
You've been listening to the BELK Tile Podcast. When it comes to creating a beautiful home using tile, this is the podcast for products, design ideas, and tips. We hope you got some useful, practical information from this show, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, reach out. The website is www.belktile.com. Our store phone number is 614-543-8334. Find us on Facebook and Twitter at BELK Tile and on Instagram at BELK Tiles. Make sure to leave a rating and review. And if you have questions or comments, reach out. And we'll talk about it on the next show. Till next time.